Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Triple Double Nation. Today we're discussing what exactly is up with the Lakers this year. Let's get into the video. The Los Angeles Lakers are the defending NBA champions. Protecting their throne won't be easy. A recent spell of inconsistency spurred by injuries to All-Stars Anthony Davis and LeBron James has left this club looking mortal, if not vulnerable. There's time to turn things around still, but they'll need to answer the following three questions if they hope to repeat. When will LeBron James be ready to return? LA's championship hopes revolve around a healthy James, so all eyes are on the four-time MVP's right ankle that has kept him sidelined since March 20th. While Davis is nearing his return, James is still believed to be weeks away from getting back into game action, sources told ESPN's Dave McMenamin. Considering the campaign closes in less than a month, the King finds himself in a race against time. Getting back on the hardwood is simply the first step. Then, James needs to work his way back into game condition, knock off any rest, and hit the ground running at track star speed. If anyone can make the transition appear seamless, it's probably him. But he'll have to create chemistry on the fly with a roster that has changed a good deal over the past calendar year and includes a starting center who debuted after James's injury. It's tempting and defensible to expect James to figure this out, but as a 36-year-old with tons of NBA mileage on his odometer, this won't be as simple as getting back on a bicycle. What's the rotation at center? The Lakers aren't short on viable options at the center spot, which gives head coach Frank Vogel a good deal of flexibility with his lineups. But it also creates a puzzle for the skipper to solve on a near nightly basis. Marc Gasol tipped off the season as the Lakers starting center. Montrezl Harrell was their priciest addition in 2020 free agency. Drummond, who arrived via the buyout market, has started all 7 of his games with the purple and gold. Davis and Markieff Morris have both logged minutes as small ball bigs. Davis at center feels like the ace up the Lakers' sleeve, but Vogel might be careful how often he exposes his star big man to the wear and tear of life in the NBA paint. So which of the 3 traditional centers should get the most minutes? Well, that might depend on the matchup, and that could change from one night to the next. I think we saw the flexibility we have as a coaching staff from playoff series to playoff series, Vogel told reporters in late March. Get different guys' skill sets to match different opponents. I really believe we're going to need all 3 of those guys, and I expect to use all 3 of them. Gasol paces the group in basketball IQ and long-distance shooting. Drummond offers the best blend of size and athleticism. Harrell does the most damage as a scorer. If handled correctly, the Lakers could have a center for any situation, but Vogel will be facing a tricky balancing act of distributing minutes and managing egos, and there will be tough decisions to make every time out. Does the supporting cast have enough scoring? After struggling at times with half-court offense in the bubble, the Lakers look to put some extra scoring pep in their step this offseason. The results have been something of a mixed bag. On one hand, 3 of their top 6 players in points per game are newcomers, Schroeder, Harrell, and Drummond. On the other, even with the extra firepower, the Lakers still rank just 20th in offensive efficiency. LA can only count on so much production from James and Davis. They'll do the heavy lifting, but the Lakers will still need to look elsewhere for scoring. There aren't a lot of shot creators on this team, and LA lacks volume and efficiency. With its 3-point attack, the Lakers are built to win with defense first and star power second, and so long as James gets healthy ahead of the playoffs, those ingredients are fine. But a nightly surge for supplemental offense could make this postseason trek tricky to navigate. The Los Angeles Lakers brace for a season of strain after the shortest offseason in league history. They didn't anticipate this. The Lakers did not envision long stretches without both LeBron James and Anthony Davis in a regular season slog that is testing them in new ways after the rigors of being confined within the NBA's restricted access campus at Walt Disney World for 3 months last summer. James, Davis, and Co. began the 2020 and 2021 season as overwhelming title favorites, having emerged from bubble life as NBA champions. But factors that raise the degree of difficulty on the Lakers' repeat bid are starting to stack up. Davis has missed the past 23 games because of persistent Achilles tendon discomfort and an adjacent calf strain. There is some hope within the organization that he will return to the lineup after the Lakers' 5-game Eastern Conference's swing underway. But any injury that involves the Achilles tendon, no matter how perpetually mild, is going to spook people until Davis gets back on the floor. Achilles tendon injuries remain the most feared in the sport. James has missed the past 9 games after sustaining a high ankle sprain during a game against Atlanta on March 20th. The reflex assumption, because this is James, is that he will return by the month's end and duly return to elite form. Given that James is 36 and in his 18th season, we should probably also acknowledge the possibility that his recovery won't be seamless. Sunday's 18-point loss to the Los Angeles Clippers, their Staples Center co-tenants, was the first in an 11-game stretch against teams in playoff or play-in positions. The Lakers were 5th in the Western Conference standings entering Tuesday, but there is mounting worry in Lakerland that a slip to 6 or 7 or worse is getting more and more unavoidable. This is the first season that teams seeded 7th through 10th in each conference will be subjected to a new double elimination playoff in round. The roster moves that looked so good in November winning Rays for the Lakers front office haven't panned out. Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell have not proved capable of pinch carrying the Lakers during the regular season when James and Davis are unavailable. I believed, as resolutely as the Lakers, that they would be, but Schroeder and Harrell tend to be more concerned with their own scoring than anything else. When the Lakers explored the trade market for both last month, it seemed to confirm their own uncertainty about the fit. The Lakers' biggest triumph since Davis went down was signing the crown jewel of the season's buyout market, Andre Drummond. Yet it must be noted that the Lakers were desperate to go all out for Drummond in part because of a sense that their front line was lacking. Marc Gasol signed as a free agent in November and hasn't replaced Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee as convincingly as the front office had projected. Gasol has since publicly acknowledged his disappointment that the Lakers felt the need to bring in Drummond. Whether it's the injuries or the team's middling 10-12 record since Davis last played on February 14th, or mounting pressure stemming from the Lakers' woeful three-point shooting, or other factors, this group does not appear to have the same chemistry as the Lakers did in the NBA bubble. Maybe these Lakers can still get there, but there's clearly much to fix in the final 22 games of the regular season. Coach Frank Vogel insisted on Monday that the Lakers were not looking at the standings at all, but that is easier to say than uphold when the competition looks tougher than it did last season. The Utah Jazz readily acknowledge that they can't hush naysayers until the playoffs, but they also have won 22 consecutive home games and remain on pace to become the first team in league history to average 17 made three-pointers per game. The Denver Nuggets made a clear win now upgrade at the trade deadline by adding Aaron Gordon to their core of Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Michael Porter Jr., and as of this newsletter Tuesday, would have home court advantage over the Lakers in a first-round series as the 4th seed. James and Davis remain so feared as a duo that, for all the other legitimate concerns about these Lakers that we've listed, getting both back in coming weeks and keeping them upright throughout the playoffs would surely fix so much. I am likewise bullish on Drummond's potential impact when he gets the chance to finally play with the two stars, and for the first time in his NBA career, focus on a complementary role that emphasizes his rebounding and defense. My issue is assuming that James and Davis will heal to linear fashion that makes everything fine once they return. Ill-advised as it is to write off James in particular after he led his team to the NBA Finals in 9 of the 10 past seasons. That's a bold leap to make given the gravity of these injuries. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and comment if you think the Lakers are going to make it to the finals this year. See you guys in the next video. Have a great day.